daily live show. We're live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Our best bets always are premium picks. Of course, over the weekend, we have our Cappers Roundtable shows. Never quite sure who's going to show up, but someone always does, so we're always here. But anyways, last night, game one of the NBA Finals, it was the exact opposite of what I had seen, from the Celtics and from the Warriors, and kind of the exact opposite of what I said was going to happen. So I obviously took a loss there. Brian on the winning side of it with the Celtics. I think he swept the board in general yesterday. But Brian, how about that fourth quarter for the Celtics? Kind of doing the opposite of what it was kind of the George Costanza opposite there thing going on.
For me, what was surprising was how many points were scored. I really thought it would be a first team to 100 wins and more of a defensive focus game. So blowing that under for me was a definitely surprise. And 120 points on the Golden State Warriors, who were one of the top 3 defensive teams in the NBA, in my opinion. So it was definitely a surprise.
Well, the numbers also say that about the Warriors too. Anyways, Chris, what did you think of the game?
Yeah, that fourth quarter did a lot of people in, and you just see some of those numbers, and you kind of go, well, of course that's probably going to happen when a game like that flips on its head. Al Horford 6 threes in the game, 26 points. I mean, I knew he was going to have a decent game, but didn't think that much. And for the largest fourth quarter margin in NBA Finals history, it's just it was the Warriors for 3 quarters, and then the Celtics just turn the game on its head, and now we'll have to see if, sounds cliche, but who's going to make the adjustments for game 2.
I thought it was pretty interesting that, Horford's prop for points was only 10.5 in that game, and, I mean, that's where he had been, so it was kind of at the outlier. I think that's what we see, in the playoffs and the finals and things like that. It's, everything else has been game planned and covered, and you got to find out the things that it won't be. And Horford certainly has the ability to deliver there. Not a surprise in, the ability that he has. There's a reason he's on that team. And there's a reason why he's been in the NBA for a while, and he's, definitely always a wanted commodity. But NHL, we had the Avalanche and the Oilers. Now the Avs up 2-0. A lot of people thought that the Avs were the best team last year, but didn't get it done. And, 4-0. The total, they call that a skunking. I was a little worried about all the people humping up on the over in that game. It just seemed almost too obvious. But, boy, the Oilers, who'd been scoring goals like no one's business, the donut, Chris.
Yeah, and I was a little bit shocked when I saw how that that kind of played out as well. But you have those clunkers every once in a while, and Francouz stepped up for the Avs with no Darcy Kemper in goal, and the Oilers went back to Mike Smith, and it looked like a good decision in goal for the first period. But then there were just 3 goals, I think, in a span of a couple minutes. 2 of them, the first 2 were scored 15 seconds apart. And that's just sort of what did the Oilers in. The Avs found confidence, and you don't want to give that kind of confidence to an Avalanche team that was one of the best, if not the best, in the NHL at home this season. So now the series shifts back to Edmonton, and you're already seeing the line shift heavily, just giving merit to the Oilers on home ice. But I don't know if I can jump on them just yet. The Avs have just been too good so far in the first couple games.
I'll tell you, in that game, I tuned in the first period intermission. I saw it was 0-0. I was like, I was thinking, okay, so we should have this under. And then, but I was generally surprised on the Oilers not being able to put any points on the board. I think they only got 24 shots on net. So for me, I was just surprised the Oilers didn't make it a closer game. I thought they would at least keep it within a goal. So, but at least it went under the total. So that was a saving grace for me.
Chris?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you gotta have pucks on net to really get you over the number, but the goals will come back for the Oilers. I'm sure it will, especially going back home. Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, even Evander Kane, they're not gonna have back-to-back back-to-back poor performances, I don't think, but it's just going to be a matter of Edmonton matching pace with Colorado, because I don't see Colorado slowing down either. Like Mitch, like you said, the Avs were a trendy team to make a deep run last year in the playoffs, and now it seems like this is their year that those predictions are sort of coming to fruition, and they have a lot of depth. My concern for the Oilers is that they're very top heavy. A lot of the scoring comes from the top couple of lines. Colorado can hurt you from first line down to fourth and across all the defensive pairings as well. So it's going to be up to Edmonton to match.
I wonder what the series price is to sweep, if they would what they pay for a sweep, because I could see Colorado just going in, winning game 3, and from there, it's all over, I would think. So I just wonder what this sweep price is. I'll have to look that up.
Well, tonight we got the Rangers taking on the Lightning, game 2. It was all Rangers in game 1. Bit of a surprise because the Lightning have been so dominant in the postseason in recent years. But the Rangers, dominant at Madison Square Garden. Once again, home dog for the Rangers. Getting zero respect for that win. Just kind of like, oh, yeah, okay. Plus 110. Anyways, Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, for the record, for Brian, that Colorado sweep plus 220. But I think this game is going to see more of the same that we've seen from the New York Rangers. They're going to battle hard, and I think this is going to be another tight game if the Rangers don't win this one outright. But I do like the Rangers once again, plus a half a goal in the first period. I might even take them on the money line in the first period. The Rangers just haven't been that team that gets shook early, especially from the opposition. I know Tampa Bay is a team that you can expect to make the adjustments. They're the 2-time defending Stanley Cup champions, and this Lightning team, not one to lose back-to-back games. I think they haven't lost back-to-back games since winning the Cup back in 2020. But I think this is going to be another great game from the opening puck drop. I like the Rangers plus the half goal in the first period.
How about you, Brian?
I think for me, the Rangers are probably getting disrespected here. There's lots of people that love to bet the Tampa Bay Lightning out here, and I think it's hard to pass up a hot team with a hot goalie getting plus money at home. So for me, I'm going to play on the Rangers here, almost a premium play. I just missed my cut. But I like the Rangers a lot tonight.
All right, I'm on the Rangers as well. So speaking about hot team with hot goalie, Brian coming off the sweep of the board, starting to heat up a little bit. What do you got going on at Pick Dogs today?
Well, hopefully June continues to be a good month. I got my Go On Streaking 3-pack off a 3-0 day yesterday, and free picks were hot as well. So I got my 3 best bets all in Major League Baseball. It includes my Friday no limit wager in that 3-pack. Get all 3 plays for $50, or my no limit wager best bet for $30 at pickdogs.com premium picks.
Yeah, and for me, I was 3-0 in MLB yesterday. That Warriors game held me back from a sweep, but it's okay. I'll take it where I can get it. And now we go back to the MLB today, where I got my $15 pickoff play, hit back-to-back pickoff plays to start June, trying to make it 3 in a row. And I got that pickoff play as part of my MLB triple play as well. If you're looking for a 3-pack, I got that for $39.95 at Pick Dogs Premium.
I have my MLB big play out there today. I hit a few in a row on this one. I've hit, hitting probably about a 75 to 80% clip over the last month with that play. So it's $15. You can use the code June10, get 10% off anybody's packages. And going forward, starting today or yesterday, all daily packages at Pick Dogs are 100% guaranteed. If you don't win, you get a credit. So there are no more non-guaranteed packages. The idea there was to offer the packages at a lower price. And then some people, they don't want the credit. It's like, I lose, I don't care, I don't want my credit. But the idea was to do it at a lower point of entry. I don't know. It just seemed to me that more people were more interested in getting, you don't want to pay to lose. So it's like, we got rid of it. We'll let the other sites let people pay to lose. If your pick doesn't come through, if it doesn't turn a profit, if you go 1 and 2, it doesn't turn a profit, you get that credit back in your account, and you don't have to get the same capper like, Sports Jello or whatever they call themselves over there now. we have to get the same capper again. It's like, oh man, this guy sucks. I got to keep getting his picks. It's like you can use it anywhere on the site you want. Sorry, Sports Memo is where they do that. Mitch Memo. The minor leagues of handicapping. Wager Talk Jr. It's like, I mean, is there any lower in the position you could be than Wager Talk Jr.? It's like you got a crappy site and then the junior version of the crappy site. It's like, I mean, I don't even get it. I guess that's where people like Kevin Thomas find a home. Anyways, we go back to today's Major League Baseball schedule, and we've got interesting card of games, to say the least. Not all the lines are out yet, though. And
yeah, what's up with that Phillies-Angels line?
I don't know. I think the books are afraid.
Maybe they're not sure if Ohtani's playing today. Maybe that's one of the problems.
That could be it. But we've got the Chicago Cubs versus the St. Louis Cardinals. We got the Marlins versus Giants, and we have the Reds versus Nationals. Yeah, Brian, we have a site for my picks are worth $2. We have that site, and then we have another place now where it's like Fired by Mitch. It's like the Fired by Mitch channel. It's like Fired by Mitch or Fired by Mitch or Scumbags. It's like you have a choice. Either you're a major scumbag or you're fired by Mitch. You get to go to the other channel now. It's like, yikes. Anyways. Sorry, I didn't mean to call you scumbags, Doc Sports. I did, actually. Go ahead, Brian.
In that first grouping of games here, the first play I'll give out, it's probably the I'm going to have a Giants-Marlins side on the drive-through nights to make sure you guys tune in. But as far as total goes, I'm going to take the over 8. You got Alex Cobb, one of Romanelli's favorite pitchers, going up against Hernandez here for the Marlins. And I think you're going to see a lot of runs because both pitchers have been prone to giving up runs, especially Hernandez. And the Miami Marlins bats, I think they're starting to heat up here. I shouldn't have any trouble getting over the 8. Then for the second day in a row, I'm going to take the Chicago Cubs. To me, this line just looks off. Minus 110. Chicago Cubs, 10 games behind the Cardinals? I'd have to look at the exact record, but they're way back. But Stroman has pitched well, 5 good starts in a row. Not excellent starts, but good starts. He's off of 7 shutout innings, and Miles Mikolas has had a great year. But his last start, 5 2/3, 6 runs given up, 9 hits. I think the Cubs. I think the Cubs are the play here.
Yeah, and I'm going to go with the under in that Cubs-Cardinals game. I like the way Mikolas has pitched this season. I think he just had one bad outing. I think he bounces back against the Cubs here. But Marcus Stroman hasn't been a slouch either. I think that's going to be a lower scoring game. I could easily see 3-2 in that game. So give me the under 8 in that one with a lean towards the Cardinals. And I'm also going to go with the over in the Giants Marlins game. Not much I can add to what Brian said. I've watched Alex Cobb get torched for much of the season, and same thing with Licio Hernandez. I think 8 is absolutely gift wrapped here from the book. So yeah, give me the over 8 in that one as well.
If being honest and exposing the scumbags in this industry makes me a hater, then I'll be a hater all frickin' day and all night and twice on Fridays, because I'll tell you, our industry gets a bad name, and it's people like the sites that I mentioned that do it. The only thing that they ever come up with that's any decent is stuff that they just copy from us, and then you start to see the rats start to flock together, right? They just herd like the pack of rats, right? So it's like, yuck. So if that makes me a hater or whatever it is, I don't care. I'm not sorry. It's like, you want to go to some sleazy site where it's like, we don't work the weekends because it's like, that's just the busiest days of the week in sports, right? It's like, yeah, these are people that really care about you. People that call in sick, people that feel like you could pay for a monthly package but not put in picks for a couple days. Yeah. Go over there. I know that. I know. I'm just in a mood. Sorry. I'm sorry for being in a mood, but I'm not sorry for what I said. I mean every bit of it and then some. Anyways, I also like the Cardinals. I also like the over in the Marlins-Giants game, and I like the over in the Reds-Nationals game. Of course, we know we know that Josiah Gray has the 8+ ERA in the night games, and he has the .5 ERA in the day games. It's a night game. We like the over in that one. Go to Pittsburgh, where JT Brubaker has finally found himself, at least for a game and a half. He has looked good. Merrill Kelly has not looked as good recently. It's been his location. Has had trouble finding the plate, falling behind in counts. Be interesting to see. It seems like an easy fix. Got the Orioles and the Guardians of the Galaxy. And then the Phillies, who can't decide who's going to start today, up against the Angels. Ruffalo?
Yeah, for that Phillies game, I thought I saw Zach Eflin as the starter at one point, but again, it's I'm still also
it
seeing
looks like
TBD.
Eflin.
Yeah, so if that's the case, I'm going to be on the Angels. I'm just not a Zach Eflin fan. I think Chase Silseth. It is a small sample size, but he's pitched fairly well, and I think the Angels will be eager to get the bad taste out of their mouths from that doubleheader sweep against the Yankees yesterday. So lean towards the Angels there, and I like the Pittsburgh Pirates on the money line. Merrill Kelly, a 5.40 ERA on the road this season, and he's given up 3 runs or more in 4 straight starts. The D-backs have lost each of those 4 starts, and JT Brubaker starting to pitch a little bit better. The Pirates heating up a little bit after sweeping the Dodgers. I think the Pirates can take this one at home.
I think for me in that time frame, if you can get the Angels at below -140, because I don't see a line yet for him, I think you back the Angels tonight. Eflin, he's an on-again, off-again pitcher, but the Phillies just have trouble stringing wins together. I think the Angels are just a flat-out better team. So if you can get them at -140 or better, I think you back the Angels. And then Guardians and Orioles, I'm going to take the Guardians at this price. Baby Bieber, Shane Bieber has had, I think, 3 solid, really good Bieber starts, and Zimmerman's starting to show the he's a Zimmerman of the past where he's got torched. So I think the Guardians can keep the winning going. I'll take them laying the -140.
I'm going to go with the Guardians here against the Orioles. I like that under in the Diamondbacks versus Pirates game. We move on to the next set. It's going to be the Blue Jays and the Twins, the Yankees and the Tigers, and the Rangers and the Mariners. Brian?
We got a grouping here with a bunch of Mitch's favorite pitchers here. Mr. Chichi Gonzalez going here for Minnesota against Kikuchi and the Toronto Blue Jays. In this one, I'm going to take the over 9.5 runs. I think Kikuchi's good to give up 4 or 5 runs. And, Gonzalez in the past, he's been torched, and that Toronto Blue Jays lineup is relentless. So I could see it getting over 9.5 here. Then the Tigers and Yankees, I just think there's too much value here not to take the Tigers at +1.5 and the over 7.5. Garrett Cole could give up 3-4 runs, and the Tigers, they should give up their share of runs too. So I like the over 7.5 Tigers. Yankees, I like the Tigers +1.5. And as I said before, Minnesota Twins and Jays over.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go with the Toronto Blue Jays team total over here. Should they tee off on Chichi Gonzalez? I don't even know how long the Twins are going to let Gonzalez go. But I think even in a small enough sample size, the bats are hot enough that they can get a few off him here. I know that the Jays, had a lot of their success in the later innings in that Chicago series, but I think they can get to an early lead here. So I'll take the Jays team total over. I'm going to take the Detroit Tigers on the money line. I know it may sound crazy to some, but Garrett Cole hasn't been shut down in his last 3 starts, and 2 of those came against the Baltimore Orioles. And the Detroit Tigers have quietly won 7 of their last 9 games. Elvin Rodriguez, not a pitcher I love backing, but he seemed to right the ship a little bit after a rough first couple starts of the season. I think the Yankees going to be a little bit, to steal a term, fat and happy after their doubleheader sweep of the Angels yesterday. And I think maybe they look past the Tigers in this one. I think the Tigers could take advantage. So give me the Tigers +285.
Not ready to argue fat and happy with Ruffalo. Elvin Rodriguez, certainly not one of the better pitchers out there. Last time out, I was betting against the Tigers, and I don't know who it was, they screwed me, but the Tigers, that was the game where Candelario hit the 2 home runs, and that was the only 2 runs they needed in a 2-1 win. I think it was over the Guardians. And Rodriguez, though, actually left that game early And I've seen that twice from the Tigers this season, where the starter leaves early, and they end up pitching really well with a bullpen game. And Cole is certainly my favorite guy to fade. I think you got to at least take the 1.5 here with the Tigers at the very least, and continue to add on from there, and maybe even reverse run line it here, because the Yankees do have the number one defense in baseball. While most people consider it's the offense, they're number one in home runs offensively, but defensively, offensively, and all the other statistics, they're kind of middle of the pack. But defensively, they're number one basically across the board. The one outlier to these numbers is their highest paid player, Garrett Cole, who is really having a miserable time of it out there for a guy who's that widely regarded. And I think he can be had. I'm taking the Tigers here, unapologetically. Not sorry. And I think we're looking at an over in that Toronto Minnesota game, and I think Gilbert in that battle of Rangers and Mariners.
Did you mention that one yet, or did I miss it?
Yeah, it was in the last grouping.
Okay, well, I like the Mariners with Gilbert in the mound. Bunch of 7-inning solid performances off the really good one last time. I'll take Seattle here. Lay the number.
See Brian sucking up right there. See, I said Mariners. Brian's got to say Mariners. It's like, he's so afraid to say anything because you're just
didn't hear the Mariners mentioned in that last time frame. I missed it.
Bullying these guys. I'm in a good mood today. And it was Rays, White Sox, Brewers, Padres, Astros, Royals. Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the under 7 in that White Sox Tampa Bay game. I think even 7 for Vince Velasquez game. Yeah, it seems low, but Shane McClanahan's not giving anything up easily, and I see that as a 3-2 game. Whichever way you have it going. So give me the under with a lean towards the White Sox plus 1.5. I'm going to take the under 6.5 in that Padres Brewers matchup. Musgrove and Burns. That's all I think I need to say about that one's going to be a bona fide pitcher's duel. But I think both starters are going to go 7 innings. I think that game finishes 2-1. And I'm going to go with the over 9 in that Astros Kansas City game. I think Brady Singer's due to regress a little bit here. And for me, Jose Urquidy, a 7+ ERA on the road this season. I think he can get a few scratched off against him, but I don't expect Brady Singer to have another solid outing in this one. I look for that one to finish well into double digits.
I like the White Sox because it's a total homer pick. I like the Padres against the Brewers. I know the betting tools like the Brewers in this one, but the thing is that. So I thought the most interesting thing I got from the betting tools today was that the over-under prop on Burns strikeouts is 7.5, and it's hit the under 80% of the time. You wouldn't think that, You would think that it'd be over, and that's why you get tremendous value on the under strikeouts on Burns, which is crazy, right? Even though that's the bet. So Urquidy and Singer, interesting matchup here because, like Chris said, Urquidy has had some struggles on the road. He's had some good games on the road too. But Singer, while we look at his numbers, these are overdressed, right? These are all overdressed numbers because he's only started 3 games this season. It's not like he's gone through the ringer like everybody else. He's only started 3 games. And the other games, he came out of the bullpen. So those bullpen appearances are padding his stats, right? Because he didn't give up. He gave up in the first one. He gave up 4 runs. But then what we started to see as he enters into the starting rotation, we saw the regression last time out, where 90 pitches, 5.2 innings, as opposed to 95 pitches, 7 innings, 93 pitches, 7 innings. That means teams are starting to zero in on him, and he's going deeper into the count, right? So against a team like the Astros, you don't want to be going deep into the count because they will take you deep.
I think it's more more than the bullpen padding his stats, I think it's the two 7-inning shutout performances. That's probably what pads his stats here. But yeah, in the last game he did struggle.
But, 8 strikeouts, no walks. And they did win the game. I don't know. Tough one. A's against the Red Sox. Rockies against the Braves. And the Dodgers against the Mutts. Chris?
Yeah, I'm going to go with excuse me. I'm going to go with the Red Sox on the run line against the A's. I know I'm not a native Aldi fan by any stretch, but I'm even more a fan of going against a team that's 6-22 on the run line at home this season. And James Caprillion showed some signs of weakness in his last start. He allowed 5 runs. So I think this Red Sox lineup eager to sort of get back on the road where they played their better baseball this season, and take it to an A's team that really hasn't shown all that much. So give me the Red Sox on the run line there. I like the under 11 in the Rockies and Braves matchup. Simply just fading the Rockies total just because they're in Colorado. I think the Rockies were the highest under team in the majors last season. They've been playing up their fair share of unders as well this year. So I go with under 11, what is a decent pitching matchup between Max Fried and Chad Kuhl. And I'm going to go with the under 8 in that Dodgers and Mets game. And we only saw, I think, 2 runs in last night's matchup. I think we have a decent pitching matchup here. I think runs are going to be scarce. I think it's 3-2 at best. So give me the under 8 in that one.
Brian?
I think this is the only time frame I've disagreed with Chris. For me, I'm going to go against the grain, take the Oakland A's plus the 1.5 here. I could see a backdoor cover like they had the other day against the Astros. Caprillion's not that good, but I think the Red Sox bullpen could give up a few runs late and cost the Red Sox run line backers a win. I'll take the New York Mets plus money here in Game 2 of the series. I like Bassett. He struggled a little bit recently. But I think he gets back on track with another good start here. And Tyler Anderson, I think he's a little bit overpriced with the Dodgers. I'll take the Mets.
Caprillion gets a bad name out there because of the Yankee backers, because he was a former first-round draft choice by the Yankees that didn't exactly pan out for them. So the Yankee backers always knock him, and that's part of the issue with Caprillion. But I think he's the better pitcher of these two because Eovaldi, he is the guy who gave up 5 home runs in 1 inning. That is exactly what he did. And, I think you give up 5 in 1 inning, you're fully capable of giving up 6 at any given moment. I think that Chad Kuhl, I think Chris is giving him a little bit too much credit here. Kuhl has really been in regression mode recently. The last 2 games, he's pitched a little bit better again, but he only lasted 4.1 in that game against the Pirates. 3 innings against the Giants. This was the last time he was at Coors. 3 innings, 8 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned, and he hasn't pitched at Coors since then. If we look, back at Coors before that, 5 hits, 3 runs. It's like Chad Kuhl pitching at Coors Field. That's what it's like. We saw the Braves score. I think the Braves just got sick of running around the bases last night because they could have easily. That was Romanelli's Ron's rundown play of the day. Was the over in the Rockies Braves game. At least the kid got to sleep by the 4th inning. It's like it was over. And everyone knows how I feel about the Dodgers. Go to the parlay section of the show. Brian?
For my parlay here, I'm going to go with the Guardians money line. I'm going to go with the Oakland A's on the run line and the Chicago Cubs money line.
I'm going to go with the over in that San Francisco Giants Miami Marlins game. The Pittsburgh Pirates on the money line, and why not? Give me the Detroit Tigers on the money line.
I'm going to definitely go with the Oakland A's on the money line. I like the A's on the money line with the Guardians and with the over in the Nationals-Reds game. I also like for my home run prop anyone on either team in the Nationals-Reds game. Anybody. Just name a player on either team, Chris. Just name anybody. Patrick Corbin, home run prop.
Oh God.
Home run.
Man. All right.
Luis Castillo, home run prop. Everybody. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Let's make it a winning day. Avoid those scumbags out there with the undocumented picks.